Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and today we are going to choose my November TBR. So if you've been around for a while, you know that last year my sister and I did what I called a winter binger bingo. We came up with 36 different prompts. Some of them were activities, some of them were movies, and we tried to see what we could get done in a couple of months. Well, this year we are doing that again. However, we're doing it from November until January. November because honestly, Christmas movies and Christmassy themed things, we start getting in the mood for that stuff in November. Whereas once you get into December, it's kind of starting to fade. Because for me, it's like halfway through December, I'm ready for Christmas to be over with and to move on. So we're doing this over 3 months. There are 36 prompts. 18 I think were book prompts, and then the rest were movies and activities. So I have my bingo board and I created prompts for the next 3 months that are specifically for these this bingo board. So that is what we're going to be using. We have whole new prompts to get us through this wintry season, and I'm really excited for it. So the way that I'm going to do this is I am going to, because I have everything mixed in, movies and activities and books, I'm going to throw until I get 6 books. 18 prompts, 3 months to do it for reading. And so I'm going to do 6 book prompts. You'll understand. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, but first we need to go over what I have accomplished in October. So currently today is October 23rd, and so I still have some time left. But for my October prompts, the first prompt that I had was a haunted house, and I chose The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates, my very first Darcy Coates. I finished this. I gave it 5 stars. I talked about it in one of my vlogs. I don't even remember which one it was right now. Oh yeah, the New to Me authors. That's what it was. So if you want to see my full thoughts there, I will link that video down below. But I read it. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved that book. Second up, I had a beautifully creepy cover, and for that one I chose Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. I have read this. I gave it 5 stars. I have this one incorporated with my Sydney Made Me Read It video, so you can see my full thoughts for that down below as well. Next up, I had Bats on the cover, and for that one I chose Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker, and I did read this one. I gave it a lower 5 stars than Bloom, but still 5 stars. Again, that's in the Sydney video, and that will be linked down below. Fourth, I had Pumpkin on the cover, and for that one I chose The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Lori Gilmore. I haven't read this one yet, but I do still have about 8 days left that I can finish it, so we'll see if I get to it. Hopefully I will. Fifth, I had a horror book. For that one, I chose Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. That is the first in the Hannibal Lecter series. I read this. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really, really good. Super happy to have finally read this book. And I'm really excited to try and continue on. I don't know when that will be, at some point, hopefully, but I do want to read more with Hannibal Lecter because I think he's such an interesting character. And so I'm curious about it. And then last but not least, I had Perfect Fall Vibes, and for that one I chose Never the Roses by Jennifer K. Lambert. Again, this one is one that I have not yet gotten to, but I do still have over a week left until Halloween, and so hopefully I will be able to finish it in that time. Now, here's the fun part. Let's jump in and do our throws. Like I said, I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be throwing until I get 6 book prompts. So let's get to it. Let's pick out my books for November. Okay, so the first prompt that I got was focus, cozy hobbies, and that is just to take some time to be creative, whether that is cross stitch, a diamond painting, drawing in my journal, whatever the case may be. It's taking some time to do something other than reading for a little while, which you don't see me do very often just because I read so much, but it's taking the time to do something a little bit different. My next throw, I got a Viking or Norse inspired book, and for this one I have a few different options. Very excited about this prompt. So I was debating on doing A Flame in the North by Lilith St. Crow. I do really want to read this book, but the little bit that I've kind of peeked at the text, it seems like it's very like old school writing. And so I decided I'm going to hold off on that one. However, I am going to pick up A Curse Carved in Bone by Daniel L. Jensen. I got this on the day that it came out. I'm really looking forward to it, but I do want to reread A Fading in Blood first. So since I am a little tiny bit ahead of schedule right now, I am hoping that within this next week I'll be able to, or the next couple of weeks, I will be able to pick up that book and reread it, and then I'll be able to jump into this one. I'm so excited. I love the first book. I gave it 5 stars at the end of last year, and so I'm really excited to continue on and finish out this duology and see what happens next. This one was a Norse inspired fantasy that it's fantasy romance, but it's very fantasy forward, at least in the first book. The romance is kind of like a slow burn romance, and I really loved that. It was one of the first fantasy romance books I read, and so I really appreciated that aspect of it, and I really liked the relationship, and I loved the adventures that they went on for the first book. So really excited to reread that and read this one. I haven't heard anybody talk about this one yet, which is really strange for as many people that talked about Fading in Blood, but super excited for this. The third prompt that I got is polar bears and penguins, and that is to read a book with an animal on the cover. And I was debating so much for this book. I was debating on doing The Courting of Bristol Keats, and I was debating on Serpent in the Wings of Night. But the one that I decided that I'm going to try out, I've heard really mixed things about this book, but I love the cover and I really want to try it out. And so for this one, I'm going to be trying out Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. This is a fantasy mystery book, and I believe it's set on a train that somebody dies and they're having to look into it and trying to figure out who the killer is. And all the characters are supposed to have magical abilities, I believe, except for one. And they're trying to figure out who the murderer is, but people keep dying. And so I don't know. I'm really curious to try it out. Some people didn't like the cozy mystery aspect of this, but I want to try it for myself and see what I think of it. And I thought November would be a good month to do that, when I want something that's still fantasy, but a little bit more, I don't know, I guess a cozy feel. The next prompt that I got is a gingerbread. This was one from last year, and this is to read a book with a little bit of spice in it. And for this one, I am going to go with kind of a summery romance, but it's one that I'm really wanting to get to, and I've wanted to get to since it came out, right before my birthday in July. And that is Scotch on the Rocks by Elliot Fletcher. This is book 2 in the Maccabee Brothers series. The first one is following a girl who moves to her childhood, or her grandfather's home in Scotland after he's passed away, and is trying to kind of put her life together. She's an actress, but things aren't going her way, and her grandfather ran a whiskey distillery. I think that's the right word, distillery. But he was basically running it into the ground. The guy who is there, which is the first Maccabee brother, he runs and is trying to keep the whiskey business producing and keep it running, where she goes in and she's trying to help him, and he's afraid that she's going to take over everything. It was a really cute romance. I loved it. It was super sweet. And I don't think that one had any third act breakup, which I really appreciated, because some of that stuff just, it's so blown out of proportion, like with the communication issues that they have, that the fact that they didn't have that, I really liked that. So this is book 2. This is following her best friend and one of the guy's brothers from the first book. And so I'm really excited to pick this one up and continue on in this series. These always end up being interconnected standalone, so you don't particularly have to read them in order, but I loved the first book so much. I gave it 5 stars and it was really sweet. So I'm really excited to pick this one up and continue on with it. The next prompt that I got is to enjoy some time outside, and it says snowball fight, but it's Colorado, so most likely we are not going to have any snow yet for the majority of November. But it just so happens this is the perfect month to get this prompt, because my husband and I both have 4th season bull elk tags, hunting tags. So we're going to be going elk hunting right before Thanksgiving, and hopefully taking the kids up camping with us for a few of those days. So I know that I'm going to be able to get some time in outside very easily, and I'm really looking forward to it. We went camping for, I think it was 2nd season last year, and my husband had a bull tag in this same unit, and we went camping right before Halloween or right after Halloween last year, and it was so nice. It was such a great time. It was the first time that my kids actually went camping like in a tent, and so we have a great big humongous tent that we set up, and it's a really great time. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I think I'll be able to fulfill this prompt pretty easily, and hopefully be able to incorporate all of these activities into videos. The next prompt that I got is to have a seasonal drink. This one is super broad. That way we can buy a drink or just make one at home, whether that be hot chocolate or using a peppermint creamer in our coffees or whatever the case may be. This one I think will be super easy to fulfill. The next prompt that I got is Country Christmas. It'll focus. Why doesn't, there we go. Country Christmas, and that is to read a book set in a small town. For this one, I'm super nervous about this book because I haven't read anything from this author for a hot minute, but I've always enjoyed his books, and I do really want to read this one. So for this one, I am going to try out Beartown by Frederick Backman. This one, all I know is it's like a small town, I think it's Canadian, that something terrible happens and it really affects the town. And that's all I know. And that's all I really need to know, is that it's written by Frederick Backman, because his writing style is so real, so raw. He just gets in people's heads, and he notices like the little thoughts and the little things that make up who we are as human beings, and they make him super relatable. So I'm really excited to read something else from him. I know this book is super popular, and I also have the second book on hand, so if I want to jump right into the second one, I can. But either way, super excited to read this one and try it out. I haven't read anything from him since, I think it was Anxious People, and that was quite a while ago now, so very excited for this. The next prompt that I got is another really easy one, and that is to light a candle, preferably a holiday themed, wintry themed scented candle. I do have one that is called Sweater Season that I burn pretty frequently here at the house, but I'm always trying out new candles and seeing what I like and having some new ones that are seasonal. So that'll be pretty easy to do. The next prompt that I got is to make soup, stew, or chili. And that's another really easy one that I can fit in. We have stew meat in the freezer. I've been making chili here lately, and with it getting colder, it certainly is nice to have it. I do it in the crock pot so I could throw everything in and have it ready to go at the end of the day. And so that one will be really, really easy to fit in. The next prompt that I got is to read a wintry romance, and for this one I'm going to pick up one that I wanted to read last year and I never ended up having it, so I wanted to pick it up this year and read it as soon as possible, and that is The Holiday Swap. This is about two sisters who both are involved in cooking or baking in some way, and something happens. It says that when chef Charlie Goodwin gets hit on the head on the LA set of her reality baking show, she loses her critical ability to taste and smell. Meanwhile, Charlie's identical twin, Cass, is frantically trying to hold her own life together back in their quaint mountain hometown while running the family's bakery and dealing with the breakup that just won't end. With only days until Christmas, a desperate Charlie and Cass do something they haven't done since they were kids: switch places. But when rugged firefighter Jake Greenman and gorgeous physician assistant Miguel Rodriguez are thrown into the mix, will the twins' identity swap be a recipe for disaster or for getting their lives back on track? So this sounds really, really cute. One of my favorite holiday shows to watch on Netflix is The Princess Switch. I love that movie with Vanessa Hudgens. I think it's super, super cute. It cracks me up how terrible her accent is sometimes, but I love that movie. And I love all these like Parent Trap, Princess Switch kind of things. And so I'm really, really looking forward to reading this one. And I think it's definitely going to have those same kind of vibes as The Princess Switch. So very excited for this. And last but not least, the prompt that I was most excited for, one of the books that I am most intimidated by, even though I know I'm going to love it because it's big. But the next prompt that I got, like I said, this is one of my favorites. This is a new one for this year, and that is Chestnuts Roasting, and that is to read a slow burn romance or romantasy. And for this one, I'm going to take everybody's recommendations from BookTube, and I am finally going to pick up Quicksilver. I am so nervous about this book. Everybody loves this book. Sydney loves it. Eleanor Reads loves it. Everybody that I've watched that has read this book has absolutely loved it and ate this shit up. So I'm nervous. I'm automatically nervous about it because I'm afraid that I'm not going to like it. But I did love Shield of Sparrows by Daphne Perry. I did love A Fading in Blood. And so I think that I'm going to really enjoy this one. I hate this cover though. I'm not gonna lie. I have hated this cover. I did not buy this book so much sooner because I hated the cover. I much, much prefer the new hardcover covers. But oh well, I still want to read it, and I'd rather have a paperback than a hardcover for something this size. But it says, do not touch the sword, do not turn the key, do not open the gate. 24-year-old Sarah Faye is good at keeping secrets. No one knows about the strange powers she possesses or the fact that she's been picking pockets and stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. In the land of the unforgiving desert, there isn't much a girl wouldn't do for a glass of water, but sooner or later, every secret comes out. When Sarah comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms and is transported to a land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares, but it turns out they're real, and Saris has landed right in the middle of a centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. The first of her kind to tread the frozen mountains of Evelia In over 1,000 years, Ceres mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, a handsome Fey warrior who has secrets and nefarious agendas of his own. He will use her alchemist magic to protect his people, no matter what it costs him or her. So it sounds really good. Like I said, I've heard absolutely amazing things about this book. Everybody seems to love it. So I'm really excited to read it, but it is really chunky. So I feel like this would be a really, really good book to start before hunting season and take with me hunting. So that way I'll have it at the camp, but I'll already be like part of the way in. So I'm already started and like established in the book. I think this one would be a really, really good one for that, but we'll see how this goes. I might just take romances with me, who knows? But super excited to read this one. And if you have been counting, that is the 6th and final book that we will have on our TBR for this month. So I got a lot of activities, I got a lot of books, but I'm really, really excited. I still have all of the movies. I still have like all the movies that I need to read or to watch included in this, but still, that'll come up in the next month or two. So this is our TBR for November. It's very blue. It is very blue, except for the little bit of red with the holiday swap and a curse carved in bone. But I think it's pretty festive, honestly. So really looking forward to this. Have you read any of these? Are there ones that you would like to see me prioritize? Are there videos that you would like to see me do? Please let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for being here with me today, hanging out with me for a little bit, and I will see you with another video here very soon. Bye.